If post-COVID digestive issues are making your life miserable, you're in the right place. Let's uncover what's happening and find some relief. Hello and welcome to this growing community of people who are ready to heal their weird mystery symptoms that conventional medicine doesn't have answers for. I'm Carrie Bailey, your functional nutritionist. I work with people with anxiety, depression, and other weird mystery symptoms. And together we heal with food, supplements, and herbs. I encourage you to follow your own inner knowing, your inner guidance systems when it comes to the information I provide. The information I provide is general in nature and may not be specific to you. All right, let's jump into it. Whenever there are digestive issues, we know that there are pathogens at play. Pathogens can be viral, bacterial, or both. Let's talk about viruses first. In the case of long COVID, it's the coronavirus that's causing COVID, but it's also triggering underlying viruses. And these underlying viruses are viruses that you've acquired your whole life. This could be chickenpox, the shingles, Epstein-Barr. So along the way, it could even be a herpes simplex, right? People might know herpes simplex as a cold sore, but you can have herpes simplex even if you never had a cold sore. So there are these viruses, and the trick about the viruses is that they're silent, they're invisible. Unless you have symptoms, you don't know that they're there. It could be one virus or it could be multiple viruses that are attacking and inflaming your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve is important because it controls your whole digestive system. It is the longest nerve in your body, and it branches out into controlling your organs. So the analogy I like to make is if your vagus nerve is the superhighway, right, and the communication between your nerve cells is the neurotransmitters, your car is like the neurotransmitter, right? And then the road is like your vagus nerve. And so if your car is going down the road and it hits potholes, or it hits a dirt road with a washboard, or there's a slide or a spill or a bunch of rocks and things like that, all that damage to the road of your vagus nerve is going to damage the car, which is the neurotransmitters. And so you're not going to have good communication. And it's also going to impair the communication and misfiring of communication. It's also going to damage the functioning of those organs along the way. Let's talk about how your digestive system works and how the vagus nerve controls it. So I like to do this with a little story, right? So if you're eating, say, a turkey sandwich, and you're chewing that sandwich, you're chewing it in your mouth, the first place the vagus nerve is helping to release the digestive enzymes in your mouth as you're chewing the food. As the food is moving down your esophagus, that is controlled by the vagus nerve's peristalsis, is moving the food down, right? Then it hits the stomach, splashes in there, and then there's a little valve between your stomach and your esophagus that should shut tightly. When that shuts tightly, that keeps the stomach acid in the stomach and not coming up into your esophagus, causing heartburn or GERD. And so it's important that, again, that the vagus nerve is controlling that flap. And whether or not this nerve is and the muscles are strong or weak is how that flap, if it will close tight, then that the vagus nerve is working, right? But if you have symptoms, acid reflux or something, then that flap isn't working. So again, once the food is in your stomach, then that's the vagus nerve helping with the churning, the peristalsis that's churning the food in your stomach. The vagus nerve is controlling the release of the stomach acid in your stomach. And so if there's not enough stomach acid, you're not going to be able to break down your food, right, to get the nutrients out that you need. And it could be that it stays in your stomach too long or too short, right, and you're not getting that food digested. Then that food is going to move into your small intestines, right? Right at the base of the small intestines is when your gallbladder releases bile, which helps you break down the fat. But again, vagus nerve controlling that, if it's not controlling it and saying, okay, fire, or if you've had your gallbladder removed, you might not have enough bile flow to digest the fats. Then your pancreas releases digestive enzymes to further break down that food, right? And all that's happening in the first part of your small intestines. And then again, peristaltic action from the vagus nerve moving that food through. So you have to have muscle, you have to have nerve action to move that through the digestive system. Now, we're not going to talk about SIBO, but in SIBO, right, that peristaltic isn't happening very well, and it could cause the bacteria to grow in the small intestines that's not normally growing there. unproductive bacteria specifically. So as you can see, the vagus nerve and the viruses impact the functioning of your digestive system. The other pathogen at play when you have digestive issues are bacteria, specifically unproductive bacteria, or what I call microbiome imbalance. So too much unproductive bacteria and not enough good bacteria. This might be an overgrowth of E. coli or Candida or Streptococcus or Clostridia. It could be the overgrowth of any kind of unproductive bacteria. And if you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, you're not feeding those productive bacteria. So you want those productive bacteria to be plentiful and to be healthy and to be strong and helping you create a nice microbiome. This good bacteria, so you want plenty of it because it helps you make nutrients. It helps you make amino acids and B12, vitamin K, and fatty acids. And so this good bacteria is the most important bacteria to grow in your digestive system. Let's talk about how all this functioning impacts symptoms and how symptoms come about. You might have the symptoms of IBS or irritable bowel syndrome, and this is simply a collection of symptoms related to the digestive health. So it could be gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, or a mix of all the could include nausea, include any kind of thing, any kind of symptoms. Whenever I'm working with clients, I always want, they'll say, if they have pain, they'll say, my stomach hurts. And I'm like, okay, show me your stomach, because this is important to know the anatomy for sure, right? So I usually have them stand up on the camera and show me, right, exactly where that pain is so that we can isolate. Is it the small intestine? Is it the colon? Is it the gallbladder? Is it the liver? Is it the pancreas? Where is that pain or discomfort coming from? And if there's things like diarrhea, your diarrhea is meaning usually what happens is things are moving too fast, right? That peristaltic action is moving too fast where your body's trying to get rid of a food. And in the place of constipation, generally the peristalsis is moving too slowly. You can also have both. You can also have alternations of diarrhea and constipation. And the other time that you might have pain is as you're sleeping. If you're a person who's tossing and turning and having discomfort, or waking up between 2 and 4, you might consider that there's something going on with your liver. I had a client come to me and she was concerned about her weight and concerned about constipation. And constipation was a lifelong issue for her. And so we knew that one was one we had to tackle, because I always say, if you aren't pooping, you're not getting rid of the toxins in your body. So constipation is a top priority. We brought in a lot of whole foods. We went gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, and we tried to bring in a lot of whole foods. But I found when I looked at her journal, food journal, that she was still eating a lot of rice cakes, a lot of rice. And that's not a nutrient dense food. I call it like a filler food. And for her, it was leading to constipation. So once we got her off the rice cakes and moved into more like raw veggies, raw fruits for her snacks, then we were able to overcome the constipation. So her, poops went from rabbit pellets to a log, right? As they should, right? And we got her pooping every single day. When she came to me, she was pooping every 3 or 4 days. And that's not acceptable. You need to be, if you're eating every day, you need to be pooping every day. We also brought a lot of hydration in the form of green juices, because she was drinking plenty of water, but she was still dehydrated because she wasn't eating the right foods, right? She wasn't eating foods that were rich in hydration, like fruits and vegetables, and she wasn't getting the minerals. So she was dehydrated at the cellular level. The green juices was a super important part of her healing. If you need a little extra support on your journey to healing, check out my guide in the description and the comments below. It's called the Anxiety and Depression Recovery Guide. And there I give you tips, tricks, recipes, everything you need to get you started on this healing journey. So check it out. Let's get into some supplements and things to do and things not to do to heal. Okay, probiotics. I know probably the biggest thing when people are having digestive issues, the biggest thing you hear is take a probiotic. And I might be the first person to tell you that's actually not what I recommend. Now, you might have put one in and you might have noticed a difference, but a couple things. They're expensive. They aren't really doing anything. You're putting bacteria in, but it does nothing to grow your good bacteria, and it doesn't kill off your bad bacteria. You're just adding bacteria to the mix. And again, as I said, they're very expensive. A much better choice is to bring in sprouts or microgreens. both of which you can find at the grocery store. In fact, you can actually grow sprouts on your kitchen counter really easy. So you might find alfalfa sprouts, sunflower seed sprouts, broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts. And so just find the sprouts that you like. Some of them have more of a bite to them than others. But again, you can grow broccoli sprouts on your kitchen counter. You can throw them on salads, and they're really, really healing food. So check out, if you need any help, let me know on the sprouts. But there should be plenty of information about how to grow sprouts in a quart-sized mason jar on your kitchen counter. You can easily find seeds online. Make sure that you go to a online sprouting seed place specifically and not try to find them just from a packet that you would put in the ground. So this is the different seeds to grow broccoli in the ground. The next thing that I want you to avoid is digestive enzymes. Now, again, you might have tried digestive enzymes and they might have made a difference, but in the end, they're not actually changing your body's natural digestive enzymes. And that's what we want to do. We want to get your body making its own digestive enzymes naturally. So the problem with digestive enzymes is that you're throwing off your body's natural balance, right? It's sort of like your fingerprint, right? Everybody's going to have a different digestive enzyme balance than the next person. Instead of digestive enzymes, I recommend celery juice first thing in the morning to really start firing up your body's ability to heal its own digestive enzymes. And the last thing that you've heard, I'd like to bust the myth on this one, is apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is very irritating for the gut. It's very drying or dehydrating, and it's actually really hard on the liver as well. Instead of apple cider vinegar, I recommend lemon or lime juice a little bit in some water to hydrate your body first thing in the morning. And again, that should start firing up the digestive enzymes, getting your digestion working a lot better. There's a couple other things that you can do, lifestyle practices, incorporating meditation or breath work, not just, before you eat, while you eat, but throughout the day, right? So if you can calm that nervous system, calm the vagus nerve and all your nervous system, you're going to have much better digestive system function. Last supplement is probably going to surprise you, and this is B12. And the reason I'm recommending B12 is because nearly every single person on the planet is deficient in B12. And also you need to be methylating really well in order for your digestive system to work optimally, especially your liver. I did talk about methylation and the importance of it in this video here, so check that out. In an environment where you have low stomach acid, you're going to have low B12 because it takes a lot of stomach acid in order to get the B12 out of the foods that you're eating because they're in animal proteins. Heavy metals deplete B12. So depending on the heavy metal load that you have in your body, which again is invisible, most people don't really realize how many heavy metals they have in their body until they take them out. Excess ammonia caused by unproductive bacteria will kill off B12. In order to make enough B12, you require some healthy bacteria in your ileum, and your ileum is the last part of your small intestine. So again, if you don't have those good bacteria there, you're not going to be able to make the B12. The bacteria is not going to be able to help you make the B12. You can't buy these good bacteria from a probiotic. You really have to be feeding them sprouts, microgreens, green juices, fruits, and vegetables. I'll share a link in the description and the comments below to a B12 that I really like. To recap, the root causes of digestive issues in long COVID is generally from pathogens, either unproductive bacteria and or viruses. The viruses are attacking your vagus nerve and reducing the functioning within your body of all your digestive system. And I covered too the importance of feeding your good bacteria, fruits, vegetables, greens, celery, sprouts, and microgreens, rather than trying to buy a bacteria in a probiotic. Instead of digestive enzymes, I recommend celery juice first thing in the morning to let your body reestablish its own digestive enzymes. And lastly, avoid apple cider vinegar because it's very harsh and acidic to the body and really hard on the liver. You can use nervous system calming techniques like meditation and breath work to calm your nervous system and calm your vagus nerve. The number one supplement for gut health is B12 in a sublingual form. If you're enjoying my video, please give me a thumbs up. And also consider subscribing. Subscribing to my videos will allow you to see more of my videos as I release them each week. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next video.